So, quick recap from what I know. We are playing through the stories of our three current main characters, Haruhi Shigema, who wants to use her curse to revive her son. We have Tetsuo Tsutsumi, who works for the Paranormal Affairs Bureau and wants to collect all the curses so that they can't be used to hurt or kill anyone. And Yako Sakazaki, who is somewhat involved with both of them. They're involved in different ways. There is a serial killer on the loose that Tetsuo locked away, and Haruhi was the witness who helped him catch the serial killer. But since the serial killer was on good behavior and there isn't any room in Japanese prisons at this time, which is between I think it's the early 1930s, they let him out on parole. And it's more than likely that said killer now has a curse, which is very dangerous. And he's particularly after Tetsuo, who locked him away. Now, Yako's involvement 1981 to 1985, from what I can tell. I thought this was in the 30s. 80s would make a lot more sense, wouldn't it? I guess if you want the full synopsis, we can watch the previous. For the folks on YouTube, you can just watch the previous episodes. But I guess where we're at right now is Sutsuo is trying to find out where the serial killer is. Yako is trying to figure out how to either get rid of her curse or how to deal with her curse on the chance that it might revive her friend, who the police said she jumped off a roof, but it looks more like she got into an accident. And it was made to look like she jumped off a roof. As for, well, yeah, mom wants her son back. Workout is done. Cool. I haven't played as the mom in a while. Let's see what happens here. Oh, here we go. Summary of previous events. Throughout the night, Richter continues to gather information about the curse stones, while Haruhi lies awake until dawn, preoccupied by the prospect of bringing her lost child back to life. voice acting, go!
Good morning, ma'am. How you feeling?
I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today.
How's your curse stone looking?
I haven't felt anything from it since sunrise.
Interesting. It's possible that its powers can only be unleashed at night, then.
That aside, why are you so late this morning?
There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done with the limited time I had.
Very well. Let's talk.
Observe the mansion. Observe everything.
This is the old mansion where I was born and raised.
No, seriously, like, observe everything. It's always worth doing.
The town's beginning to wake up once more. The clamor of society can be heard from beyond the garden gates. Like any day, a cloud of pollution drifts out from the industrial area. He's looking a bit tired. He must have been up all night investigating. He may be surrounded by curses and death, but it matters little. My only concern is whether I can see my child again.
By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about.
And what's that?
Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that's already absorbed soul dregs, but I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with the curse bearer and have them use the right for our purposes.
Oh? I mean, I suppose that would accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible?
As long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than you'd expect.
Compensation?
Cash, for instance. That wouldn't be off the table for a family as rich as the Shigemas, would it?
Of course. Why, any amount would be fine if it'd get the job done. Won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way they did back with ransom.
Okay, with that option on the table, let's figure out a strategy.
Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind?
Not yet. Surprisingly, it's the other curse bearers that haven't been that proactive about collecting soul dregs. Did you see the news this morning?
No, I haven't.
Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in the area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Honjo serial killers. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets.
Oh my. Only 3?
That's what I thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul dregs. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little on the low side. With this little activity all through the night, curse bearers must be a cautious bunch.
What's holding them back? Are we not all after the same power of resurrection?
There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't seem like anyone's gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action.
And then we offer them a deal.
No, I want to exhaust that option first. None of the curse bearers seem very proactive. What if this situation could be with the mastermind kicked all it off intended? I can read.
Now that's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all?
You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse stone. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in the area on purpose, and they're likely after the rite of resurrection as well.
So you're thinking the person is not one of the curse bearers?
You got a sharp mind, madam. Though it might seem obvious for a mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul dregs if they were after the rite. This would be very risky. As a curse bearer, they would become a target.
So it'd actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively.
That's right. But despite what they've been inciting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves?
You mean their intention was to steal the souls while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start?
Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is the safer course of action. Which is why I figured it'd be best for us to attempt the same strategy.
So, how should we do it?
There's still reason to suspect the mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making contact with the other curse bearers.
How do you suppose we do so?
At this point, all we can do is search.
If there's a mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect the soul dregs, can we be sure there even is a rite of resurrection?
Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth fabricated to spur curse bearers into action. Seeing it might be all for naught. You want to give up, ma'am?
Never.
Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But we'll do it without using the curses ourselves. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them, but I only managed to get detailed information on 2.
You're quick. Suppose that's to be expected from an investigator extraordinaire.
I appreciate the flattery. First, there's Aya Mitono, girl we talked to before, though she isn't a curse bearer herself. She's a student attending T University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Midoricho Park.
You even determined her address. You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire.
I called every single university in Ukiyo-e in the curriculum pretending to be her parent. I went around to check on her place on the way here. Doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into some trouble.
Didn't you attempt to follow her last night?
I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me. I couldn't keep track of her.
And here I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire.
I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She's planning to steal curse stones just like us. It's best we act carefully around her. Next is a tall man who was dressed in black. I met him near Kinshicho. He stood out on the way he dressed. I managed to get some good information from him.
Impressive.
What can I say? He works as the secretary at Hihaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yumioka.
Oh, he's the guy that we killed in Shogo's timeline. Like, he was our first victim.
Hihaku Soap's headquarters and factories are both located in Honjo, correct?
Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has shown significant growth.
I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. Seemed to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assumed she'd want her factories to be running at full capacity. With the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of factories with older equipment had to be shut down.
That's right. Even 10 years ago, there were many complaints about chemical plants dumping waste into the river.
Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better luck later.
Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the rite would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skin care.
Now that's an interesting thought. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night.
This one seemed to be out collecting soul drakes, right?
Indeed. I couldn't get a good look at him, though. I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him.
What? Oh! That's the teacher. But Sutsuo took his curse away.
But I can make an educated guess.
Oh?
You know that researcher who discovered the ancient text in the Rite of Resurrection? The one that lives near here? His name is Hideki Araishi, and the man I met was very similar in stature.
Oh my, even he is involved? Awfully suspect. What do you mean suspect? It actually makes sense that he's involved.
Considering his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole... Oh, whoops. Wrong voice.
Couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair?
I think it's possible, yes. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first.
Understandable.
Of course, I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First, I'll return to Hihaku Soaps to see that man in black. Their headquarters are down on South Warigesu Street. Alright, so about the kid. I learned something new about the criminal who was involved with the kidnapping. It concerns the serial killings. There was a body found at Komagata High School. The person was identified as a school teacher. His name was Kohei Jonochi.
Do you think he was a curse bearer?
Not sure. It's possible. But regardless, this means that 2 people knew the truth about the kidnapping and are both dead.
Just when we were getting somewhere.
It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michio Shiraishi's residence. It'd be wise to pay it a visit.
Understood.
In addition to the 3 victims associated with the Honjo serial killings, there's Michio Shiraishi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue occurring like so, they're bound to inspire strange rumors.
Those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no?
It's true, both occurred a week before that accursed situation began. Still, it can't be ruled out. It's possible the mastermind was involved even with those killings.
How?
What if they were preliminary steps to awaken the 7 mysteries curse? Can we really assume they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. Yeah, the way he died, it was as if he was just poisoned out of nothing. Like they found no external wounds or any signs of having ingested poison. It was as if it had started from inside of him. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard so easily. Yeah, no, he was a cop. And not like any A1 generic cop. This was like a big, bulking man.
You seem to know a lot about this.
I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too. Oop.
Jade, thank you for shouting out Celeste. Celeste, if you are here, do you want me to edit this out of the recording or keep it in?
I got a 1.
Chicken wings.
10 seconds. 3. 1 more. Woo!
Nicely done.
Let's go! Defeated the whole team, baby! I am pro gamer!
Alright, yeah, that was actually kind of cool.
Woo! I am so good at this game.
Hey, yo! Nicely done. Alright. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too.
I see. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind.
You're right. If we wish to focus on the mastermind's identity, this would be a fine starting point. We might even discover more deaths related to the curses on this way. We should pay attention to today's news. Well, that's all I have to report. Shall we continue with our investigation? What do you want to do? You still can't use the curse stone. Taking a walk should be a fine place to start.
Right. Let's go together. I want to see what's going on for myself.
In that case, I'll trust you to decide on where we should go, ma'am.
Where should I be in my search? Which places have stood out the most to me so far?
Komagata High School is where the teacher died. I see. If I send characters to interact with each other, that might change things. Let's check out Komagata High School. Where the teacher had died. Here we are at Ground Zero, Komagata High School. I guess it's logical the police has got this place shut down. Teacher's body was found here and all. It's as if the students have nowhere to go now that the school's closed. Seems the officers are still inspecting the scene. Entry has been strictly prohibited. Oh, doesn't seem like I'll get a lot here then. The news has attracted a bunch of curious onlookers, huh? That works in our favor. The more people around, the better we can blend in.
He appears to be wary of those police officers. Maybe the police really do have something against private investigators, just like in those detective novels.
Place seems to be connected to the story of the Fool's Procession. I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bearer decided to turn up. However, I need to find out if the teacher was a curse bearer or not. I expect the police to be baffled, since they don't know about the curses. I can ask around and see what the students have to say. I don't think that's a good idea. Students are bound to know more about Michio. Well, if you change your mind, just let me know. I don't know. I don't know what they would know. I don't know how he could ask that without drawing attention to us. Let's try somewhere else. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters on the other side of South Sawadigasui Street. They were closed when I visited this morning, but it appears they're up and running now.
To think a small soap company could grow so much in a short time.
They have factories in the warehouse throughout the area now. You can see why the director, now chairwoman, Natsue Yamamori, is called the Queen.
Huh. The chemical producer that ranks 4th largest in the domestic detergent market and 7th largest in the cosmetics market. Its humble beginnings as a soap factory established after the war in 1946, founder Natsue Yamamori utilized her feminine perspective and a well-timed economic boom to boldly lead the company into new markets. Even as the market grew crowded with the industrialization of Sumida City, the company continued to expand, digging its roots deep into the area. In particular, it is established as a household name by focusing its branding towards the rapidly expanding convenience store market. Its flagship products now are cosmetics, detergent, soap, shampoo, and more. The company's name Hihaku can also refer to kasuari, a patterned fabric. Huh. I love these little nuggets of information that you get. Here we go. That's what I was really after. Natsue Yamamori is the former president of Hihaku Soaps, a large chemicals company, though she retired from her position 2 years ago. She still wields great influence over the company from her position of chairwoman. Recently, there have been rumors about her possessing strange, powerful magical abilities, earning her the title and name Witch of Hihaku. Prior to the war, Natsue enjoyed working her dream job at a textile factory. Textiles referring to, clothing. It's probably where they got the name Hihaku. She was forced to face the bitter reality of the world, however, when the factory was destroyed by a fire during the war, and was ordered to rework fabrics she had painstakingly crafted into something more suitable for blue-collar work. Witnessing the rise in popularity of Western-style clothing in the post-war period, Natsue left the textile industry. However, a nod to her past can be seen in the company's name, with Hihaku being another name for kasuari, a type of fabric featuring patterns and images woven into dyed fibers. Having long been dissatisfied with the soap supplied at the textile factory, Natsue saw a business opportunity in setting up her own small soap factory. Taking inspiration from imported soap brands, she developed new products, quickly gained a good reputation, ever the shrewd businesswoman. Natsue ran an aggressive promotional campaign on TV featuring a popular Japanese singer, rapidly turning Hihaku Soaps into a household name. So, you mentioned that Takumi works as her secretary.
That's correct.
You think it's possible he's acting on her orders?
That's exactly my thinking. First bearer with both money and power could certainly look at resurrection as their next prize. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. Been running. I can see people inside the reception area. Okay. Back in the Edo period, the canal known as South Wadigasui ran through the area, but it's been turned into a major road. It's a bit away from Kinshicho Station and Ryogoku Station, though it's still considered a nice area. The stories of the ever-burning lantern and the foot-washing machine both took place around here. One of the bodies discovered this morning was found by the road as well.
It's quite a lively area, huh?
I suppose you could call it somewhat of a city center.
A partitioning ditch refers to a waterway dug down in the... Yeah, this was a canal that originally came through. I think the Whispering Canal is also connected to this place. Or at least, like, a little ways off of it. Surface, but the street bears its name. An influential person of Hihaku So's is potentially a curse bear. So he used money to negotiate for the curse stones, but he could hardly outbid a large corporation if it came down to it. When he barely slept last night, and yet he seemed to be brimming with energy. Was I too new that resilient at his age? Perhaps what sets apart a detective from the rest?
First, I need to confirm whether Takumi is the man I ran into last night. Then I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. It'll be better if I go inside the headquarters alone. Just a walk around, visit a cafe or some tea, perhaps.
Alright, well then let's check the park. It didn't seem like there was a whole lot left for me to do there. We're here. This is Midoricho Park. Ayama Tono lives around here. She wasn't in her apartment when I dropped by this morning. Wonder if it's worth checking again. This place is connected with the story of the Tako Suguru. Not only that, Katsushika Hokusa's home was also in the area. Probably why Ayame chose to live here. Huh. Again, these curses are all like within just a hop, skip, and a jump of each other. Hello. Oh, it's just like a lamppost. Up Ayame's trails are the question for now. Why do we even come here? Children playing in the park. Victor seems to like kids. Perhaps because they're on the same wavelength.
We won't get much done standing around here.
Check out Ayame's apartment. You don't mean to speak with her, do you?
No, I prefer to get an idea of what she's been up to.
I'd like to see whether she's been home or not. She doesn't potentially get a trace of her movements. Then be my guest.
Okay, I shouldn't be long. I'm back.
So, nothing?
I'm afraid so. She still hasn't returned. However,
I noticed a few people who seem to be related to the police force keeping watch in the area. I don't know if they got eyes on her apartment, but they do appear to be watching the building it's in. Interesting. You've got a sharp eye to have noticed them despite being so covert.
what can I say? Part of my job. However, it meant that I had to refrain from knocking on the door or whoever's looking through her windows. I wasn't able to check her electric meter or mailbox either, unfortunately.
You were planning to go that far?
We don't make any progress sticking around here. Alright, let's go back to the school. Clearly, it wants me to ask. Alright, I've exhausted my options. Now we're back. Been any developments? Alright, inquire. Alright, I'll go ask the students about Michio. I'm back, ma'am.
So what did you learn?
That school kids sure do love a good rumor. I was practically drowning in stories about Mr. Jonochi and Michio, which seems to be dubious at best.
Not surprising.
Most of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought. But there was one story that caught my attention.
Oh?
Some believe that Michio is the one who killed Mr. Jonoichi.
Really?
The story got two pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently, he's been mumbling that Michio was going to kill him for some days now. A fellow teacher overheard his mumbling and told the students.
And it spread like wildfire, I suppose? Rumors that juicy don't stay secret for long.
As for the other piece of evidence, a pig-tailed girl in their school uniform was seen around the school late last night.
go on. Although numerous people claim to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some are proposing that Michio brought back to life, or that it was her vengeful spirit. But it's not like Michio is the only high school girl wearing pigtails. This rumor might have been made up just to fan the flames. But if it were true, I'd want to get a hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that'd be ideal. There's still one more thing I should mention. I discovered where Michio lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. That's an amazing find. I believe all the students actually have a copy of said list. It truly worries me to see how easy it is to obtain what should be confidential information. Imagine what would happen if that information got into the wrong hands. Oh god, there's a serial killer in the school. Oh no. I remember, like, our schools would have that too. They would have, like, a list of contacts so that you, we would have those daily planners. And inside of them was a hall pass that would let us use the bathrooms. But also in the back were contact pages so that students could get in touch with each other in case of emergencies. Well, so far it hasn't, no. Makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense for, like, in case of emergencies, but also that means every student is walking around with what should be confidential information of other students. In the meantime, it's not possible for us to visit Michio Shiraishi's house. Thank you for your shout out. I was eating all the chicken. I'll ask again now really quick, because the clip played while I'm recording for stuff. Celeste, are you okay with the clip being in the video, or do you want me to cut it out? Wait, what? Yeah, this playthrough is getting recorded for YouTube. What clip? When you shouted out, it was one of your Destiny clips. Jimpkin. You got like a team kill by yourself. Oh, the shout out clip. Yeah. I had a feeling it might be okay, but I still want to ask first because that is your content on my content. I don't mind. I don't mind whatever makes your video look awesome. Heh, what makes my video look awesome is you guys watching it. Yeah! Alright, cool. Meaning it's possible for us to visit Michio Shiraishi's house. I can imagine the students are uneasy after learning of the murder. It may do well for them to stay home for some time. It's not for fear for their safety. The police are probably too wrapped up in solving the case to be concerned about the students' mental health. I can see that. I really do like the water brush style. Huh. All the students are... Oh, they're like coming and going. Oh, there isn't a whole lot more that we can get here. It's important that society provides a safe environment for the benefit of our youth. Some school policies could use some rewriting, especially of those handling students' personal information. That's right. I don't want a student being kidnapped on their way back home ever again. He's hot. I expect criminals to grow up more cunning as time passes. There may be times when the authorities can't keep up. That's where outlaws such as myself come in. Huh? What's this about? Actually, just forget I said anything. Thank you for the sub. Celeste, thank you for the sub. 1 year! 1 year! Has it really been 1 year already? I need this emote in my life. I'll let Ashley know that everybody likes their panic emote. I expect your family might be able to tell us more, but it's a hard topic to bring up so soon after her suicide. However, it's normal for a high school girl to keep things hidden from her parents, especially if it involves criminal activity. Can't deny it either. Well, we're gonna have to move then. Alright, let's go. My favorite one. Works for so many situations. Just might get a use for it coming up here. Oh boy, it's quiet. How'd it go?
I went to visit Michio Shirashi's family home. However, no one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door, and all the lights were out. Seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. Oh my god, they're dead inside.
I never like these messy, cluttered back streets. They give me the jitters every time. It's reassuring to have someone strong and tall as Richter accompanying me. When's my husband coming back? I mean, he looks so unfazed. I suppose a detective is used to this kind of thing. Always investigating and chasing criminals. I wouldn't be cut out for it. It's a bit quieter over here. It's a residential area after all.
All these run-down row houses really scream working class, don't they?
I don't understand why no one's come to this house, even after Michio committed suicide. I wonder if this place is okay.
Social connections run deep in working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out Shirashi's reputation really went down in the dumps this past year.
Is that so?
I'll give you a quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first, they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in turn.
So far, so good. What happened?
Well, as I said, the reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Kankichiro Iwai. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow everyone knew his name.
So what of this Iwai character?
He's apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. The neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him to not hit Michio.
It's terrible.
As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbors also began to hear an eerie chanting. Through this, the Shirashi standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed even during the day, and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community.
It's horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something?
Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes.
It's awful.
That's still a thing today, too. Like, there are so many situations of, like, household abuse like this, and then someone will be like, well, where were the police? Where were the police? And it's like, they can't come in unless they have someone call in and they find evidence of what's happening. And in a lot of cases, what happens is someone gets called in, they investigate, and they find nothing. They find nothing that can be used as concrete evidence to take people away. It's unfortunate, but it's something that happens a lot more often than you'd think. That's why, like, that's why you get a lot of cases where people just stand on the sidelines until the extreme happens. And it sounds like it comes out of nowhere, when in reality it's been building up to it for a while. Always keep your eyes out. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Iwai, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwai hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with Shiraishi's entirely. Seemed relieved that things finally quieted down again. It seems they were still considered outsiders even after 3 years of living here.
I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place?
I've heard many stories where one's partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. So, she was determined to send her daughter to a good school, It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises.
Life can be tough, I suppose.
You don't seem moved by the story, ma'am. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories.
Yeah, so what's your story?
Honjo Ace Detective. Okay, I just got an achievement for this.
The common law husband.
I've never heard that phrase before. Common law husband.
Mother, I'm just used to like stepfather or something. I started coming a year ago. The house was a little over here. It seems that he served some time in prison, but the details are unknown.
He looks like a don't mess with me type.
Jeez, we're dealt a tough hand. I can't imagine what it was like. Could it be that the girl was forced by her circumstances to take part in the kidnapping?
Well, the Jirashi certainly hadn't lucked out with theirs, bringing such a violent man into it.
So now we're kind of at a standstill. Let's try going back to Arigasui Street. See if something changed here. Go to the other side.
Where's alone? I'm going in. I may be a while, so feel free to find somewhere to kill time.
Cool. Good luck in there.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
How'd it go?
I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. There's no doubt he's the same man I saw last night. But it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. Well, that doesn't mean he has no connection to the recent curses. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own.
Excuse me?
I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran to him last night. However, you said your name was Richter, correct? I have a favor I'd like to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your possession. Curse stone? What are you on about? There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night. Your arrival here only confirms it. You are a curse bearer, no? You're right. We lack time. I'll confess, I am a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the Haunting Clappers. Glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It's a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take responsibility to dispose of it. Oh no, your soap business specializes in scrubbing curses clean. It is the prerogative of Miss Yamamori. Is that so? Assuming you've obtained the curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Miss Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. She also has a deep love for this land, having transformed it with the pile of dirt it once was into the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the site of curses run rampant. So you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamyodo, who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this matter? There are curses we're speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable action. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over your curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company should have launched a large-scale search by now. have 6. 6? Whoa! I got rest of these then. And here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we are on the same page. If that is the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now. Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I've got important things to attend to. I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume. How prudent of you. I'll oblige. And that's how it went.
So they aren't after the right after all.
I wouldn't be so quick to trust him.
Oh?
I believe we're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up the story to convince us to part ways with the stone. Plus, I, the viewer, know that it's impossible for him to have 6 of the stones, unless if he's working with Sutsuru, which I doubt. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well.
Like, really? 6? That's excessive. Well, now I feel gullible.
The company is plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with the curse stones. They seemed rather desperate to get a hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul drakes. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unlaunched.
Because the chairwoman's a witch?
I'll wonder about that too. If she were really that powerful, would her secretary have divulged all that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up as he went, or he's trying to spread a rumor.
For what purpose would he do that?
Recently, people have been caught up about the occult more than ever before. If word spreads that Haru's chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique.
That's unsettling.
By the way, there's one more thing of interest I heard while in the company's reception lobby.
And what's that?
People were discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee.
Really?
So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation, though. Despite that, I've reason to believe Hihaku Soap is deeply involved in the 7 mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you I've gathered that much. The more we know, the better our negotiations will go. Hey, Clyde. We should avoid Hihaku for the time being. It'll be a pain if I have to talk to Takumi again.
How interesting that the Queen of Hihaku, or the witch, whatever she is trying to get her hands on the rite of resurrection. Some kind of dark fairy tale. Regardless of what it is or isn't true, we must stay one step ahead.
Welcome back, Clyde.
And we should be off somewhere else. No reason to stick around here any longer. Well, either reach a park, I guess. It's the only place I can think of.
We're here, so we need to reach a park.
We should move on quickly. Sticking around here. Well then, shoot. Try the school again. Well, I guess there haven't been any developments. No. Alright. Back to Michio Shiraishi's house? Didn't inform her if I dropped Negan. Oh, hold up. Where's Richter? I doubt anyone's still living here.
Oh, so you came here too.
What is it? Could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Richter? Sutsuru! Ah ha ha! Okay. Fancy sushi. Alright. Yeah, so here with dusk fast approaching, quick catch up here. Sutsuru was reached out by a serial killer that he threw in jail, who has threatened having ownership of a curse of his own. And when the person had made contact with him by calling a public phone in the middle of a park, they stopped and said, "Oh, woohoo, what are you gonna do, kill me? You can't even touch me with your curse. I bet you can't even do it." And the serial killer stopped and said, "Well, maybe not you, but what about your daughter, whom you haven't seen in years?" So now Sutsuru is currently under the threat of having to locate this killer to save his daughter, which just makes him all the more involved in this. Like, everything's starting to converge in a big way. Alright. I know that's where it wants me to go, because that's where I bumped into Richter. Let's go to Komagata first. I love this duo so much, though. They're like my favorite characters. Here we are, Komagata High. Classes are suspended for the day, so the students are just kinda wandering around aimlessly. School gates will stay locked while forensics inspects the scene of the incident. Looks like they're busy. We can talk to the person in charge later. The news of the dead teacher also attracted a fair share of rubberneckers. The atmosphere is kind of tense with this many cops around. Is there something on my shirt? Don't tell me I stink. Ideally, we could talk to someone who's involved in the incident. Easier said than done, though. This place isn't only connected because the students were under Yoshimi's jurisdiction. It's also the site of the Fool's Procession, and of course where that teacher was killed. Seems like a likely place for some clues, don't you think? Oh right, speaking of schools... What is it? You said Paranormal Affairs can't help us right now. So why don't we get to that psychic high schooler that you mentioned to help us? A lot of people involved in the case lived back to the school anyway, so it might make things easier to have them with us. For a guy who's questioned me on the legality of working with them, you sure seem eager to exploit underage labor. Hey, who said anything about exploiting them? I just want to give our young experts the opportunity to shine. When'd you become such a smooth talker? Anyway, I'm afraid I don't know where they are. Oh, I see. I wonder if there's anyone who could help us scout the area. 9 a.m. Perfectly reasonable time for students to be at school, and yet, I doubt this will be that simple. I wonder if there's anyone who could help us scout the area. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to. Komagata High's gymnasium also serves as a polling place and evacuation center. A lot of buildings around here still make wood, but the place looks safe and sturdy. Let's go ahead and move them for now. It seems like Michio's house is at the end of the road. We don't want to intimidate them, so maybe I should go alone. Alright, I'll go check the house. Ario's off checking the Shiraishi household. I'll just wait till he gets back. It's quiet. This place is normally pretty lively, full of people coming and going. It seems like everyone's decided to stay inside because of the recent incidents. So this is the Shiraishi household. There's a chance that Michio didn't actually kill herself. It might be for the best that we didn't find her parents. Oh, actually, you're back. No luck, boss. No one home. Doesn't look like it. I knocked for a while, but nobody came to the door. I glanced in the windows, but there was no sign of activity inside either. And I saw about 3 newspapers stuffed in their mailbox.
Ariel looks kind of disappointed. Looks like no one's home right now. Let's try again later.
Oh, I can't actually do anything here. Oh, okay. I've got it. Location selection. Let's send them to Komagata High. I have an idea. I have an idea here. If we put them here at 9 a.m. Okay. Now, because of how I've set this timeline, they are investigating this site at 9 a.m. So now, if I go to Tetsuo, from 9 a.m. at Komagata High School. Let's see if I'm right. There they are! Oh, I feel so smart! Here we are, Komagata High. Classes are suspended for the day, so the students are just kind of wandering around aimlessly. This is what makes this game so interesting to me, is that I'm the one who influences the story. I have to put the pieces in the right place to make it work. Oh, I feel so smart. Huh? That's... Boss, what is it? You want to talk to those girls? I do. Yeah, I do. This is divine intervention. We were brought here for a reason. I mean, I am a cosmic being, so I'll take credit where due. Come on, Ariel. Huh? What? Hey, aren't you? You must be that high schooler skirting the child labor laws who I've heard so much about. Say that again? Sorry about that. He's with me. Mr. Tsutsumi, if that's how you feel, maybe you should look into improving my working conditions. I prefer not to work for free, to be honest. Don't worry about all that. If you want to help us out, you can have whatever you want. Boss's treat. Wait. Really? Thank you so much. I've always wanted to go to that fancy sushi place. Oh yeah, like one of those places in Ginza? I've never been. Let's go. We get ourselves a deal, right, boss? These girls are at our service. Hold on now. What just happened? I never said sushi. Looking forward to it, boss. Wait, since when were you included? You guys are funny. You should do stand-up. It's usually easier to get Ario to do the talking when it comes to young people, but we only have a day. It'll be quicker if I take the reins this time. But I did manage to win them over with the promise of food. Let's see how this plays out. It's one heck of a coincidence, huh? That this random girl you know is already involved with the case? Forensics is still investigating the area. I didn't really want to bring these kids to a place like this, but there are too many onlookers for us to speak comfortably. Besides, it'd be good to have Mio look around the scene too. Huh? You want to talk to me? You're probably better off asking Mio. No, seriously. Alright, fine. So, how much have you been able to figure out? Well, I know what happened around midnight last night. Someone invoked the Feast of Shadows, which boosts the power of curses, then brought forth the 7 mysteries of Honjo. That allows even those who do not have the power to cast curses to gather soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. At least that's my hypothesis. Sounds about right so far. As I'm sure you know, there are actually 9 mysteries, not 7. When the Feast of Shadows was cast, the curse stones appeared before those who wanted the rite at the locales of the 7 mysteries. We managed to gather 3 curse stones so far, including the one I got first, the Evergreen Beach. You have 3 already? Wow! We have a curse stone of the Fool's Possession. Well, Yako, the girl standing behind me, does. That's me! I'm Yako, the girl standing behind me, yo! She does. Is she alright? We could take it off your hands. Well, the Feast of Shadows has no effect during the day, and there's still something I want to find out. Alright, I'll leave the Fool's Procession with you two then. Thank you. Please keep collecting the other curse stones. I'll be looking for a way to stop the Feast of Shadows.
Okay, got it. That should make things go more smoothly. What about the other cursed bears? Have you run into any of them?
Well, last night at school...
You were here last night?
Yes. You see...
Huh. Quick summary. These girls actually saw Mr. Jonochi here with another student, about to do some rather unspeakable things. She ran away, and he somehow wound up in this gymnasium area, where she saw the girl in pigtails appear before him, and basically his bones all just broke, as if he fell from a high area. And that's why people think that Michio cursed him. Something that they hinted at earlier is that Mio actually has a connection to the girl that the teacher was talking to, in that she had exorcised a spirit from this girl who was a delinquent. And they were talking about how possession happens more often than you think, and usually the people who are possessed don't even know it because they have such a strong connection to whoever's possessing them that they don't even realize that something is influencing their choices. Which leads to my theory that Michio's best friend, Yako, in the real world, may be getting possessed by Michio, and so Michio may have used Yako's curse to kill the teacher.
You two are using a spirit board? That's so cool!
So that's when you ran into the curse echo. Glad you survived the encounter.
Somehow we managed to get away without accidentally setting it off. The curse echo we saw took the shape of a woman with a missing arm and a leg.
What?
A woman missing an arm and a leg?
That's the one-sided read!
This is bad.
The one-sided read is the curse that the serial killer said he has.
Huh?
What's so bad about that one?
You idiot! Think! The curse bear with the one-sided read is Fumichika Nejima! He admitted it himself! That's his curse! Oh, that's right! Wait. I need water. Sorry. Wait, but if that's the case... Nejima might have been here last night! What? I mean, it's possible he was lying to us, but... What? It's Nejima? No clue.
Nejima is the serial killer that we're after. So, again, quick reminder. Let's see. The Nejima that they're looking for is this guy. This is what he looked like 20 years ago when he was arrested. But I already put together that he, now out on probation, is this fellow. Makoto Ashimiya is an alias that he goes by now in the modern time. But before his jail sentence, he even has the same eyes. That's how I figured that out, too. Oh my god, please. So this is the person that we're actually looking for. But I know that. Sutsuru doesn't. This is what we in the writing industry call dramatic irony. So Nejima is trying to take advantage of the Feast of Shadows for his own nefarious purposes.
Huh? You said he's going to massacre the city at sundown today? And he's trying to get your daughter, too?
That's why we've been hunting to find him, but to no avail. Honestly, this information has been the most useful we've gotten so far. So just to be sure, could you tell me who else was at the school last night?
Well, as far as we know, there was us, Mr. Jinochi, and one of our classmates, Hitomi. Don't forget old man Ashimiya.
Wait, Hitomi?
You don't mean Hitomi Okuda, the second-year student? Well, yes, why?
Boss! So she was here last night.
Huh?
I saw
Hitomi earlier, and she didn't seem like a curse bearer to me.
You did? When did you talk to her?
Yes.
Would you mind if we asked you a few questions about that?
Hitomi said she didn't want to talk to the police because she was afraid she'd become a suspect.
so I can't tell you anything unless you swear you won't drag her into this. Ah, I see. Don't worry, this is about a different matter. A different matter? You mean about that police officer, Yoshimi? You know about that? Did Hitomi say anything about him? Yes, she did, actually. Hitomi did say that Miss Yoshimi entrusted her with something. Did? What was it? Yoshimi gave her a talisman. Yes, apparently he also asked her to look for another one just like it, one that Michio had. What kind of talisman could they be, boss? Doesn't ring a bell. But if Yoshimi was talking about him with his dying breath, they must have been pretty important. Find a talisman on Michio where her body was found? I'll check, but if they did, Yoshimi would have had plenty of time to retrieve it before he died. Right. Would you consider giving us Hitomi's contact information? I'd like to talk to her about this talisman. I'm not sure she'd never opened up to anyone except Miss Yoshimi. I'm no good, huh? I was friends with Yoshimi, though. You don't seem like too bad of a guy. Not all that scary for a cop. But I doubt that'd be enough for her. She really doesn't want to end up becoming a suspect. To be honest, she was even a bit wary of us. Well, then. Do you think she talked to Yoshimi's fiancé? Have they met before? Oh, they have. She told us about that. Yes, she might be willing to talk to her. Alright, then we better find her fast. Have you been able to reach her? It's a little worrying. We got a lot more to talk about, though. If we're talking about people who were at the school last night, there was one more person, though I'm not too clear on the details. Or someone else. Apparently Hitomi actually saw Mr. Jonichi get cursed and killed last night. What? Talking about some vital information? What she said happened was... Girl in pigtails broke his bones, etc. Michio was the one who killed Mr. Jonichi? Are you sure it was really Michio that she saw? Well, that's what she told me. I wasn't there. That must mean that there was another curse bearer here last night. Mr. Jonichi was killed by a curse, so someone had to have been there, whether it was Michio or not. Now, reminder, Yako's curse is the Fool's Procession. People hear the music of her curse, and then they suddenly break as if they had fallen from a great height, which is exactly how the teacher died. So, I have a seriously sinking feeling. This is why I think Yako got possessed. When she came to the school, she had no idea that the teacher had died, so either she's pretending to be Michio and got revenge, or Michio possessed her and used the curse and she's unaware of it. Yeah, boss, did you really think you could be Michio's ghost? I mean, based on what we've heard, she does have plenty of reasons to be vengeful. Calm down. Just because a paranormal exists doesn't mean just anything is possible. It is still possible that Nejima was behind Jonichi's death. But what about Hitomi's story? About this janitor. Ashimiya, was it? How old is he? You know how long he's worked there? Huh? Why are you so interested in him all of a sudden? I only just transferred to the school, though, so I have no idea. He's around 50 years old. He came to our school about half a year ago. No one knows what he did before, so there are all kinds of rumors about him. I see. Thanks. I think I'm starting to get a bigger picture of all this. Huh? Listen up. It's not uncommon for former prisoners to find work under an alias after their release. Notoriety attached to their former name can get in the way of proper rehabilitation, you see. What are you... No way! Ariel, I have officers to apprehend the janitor. He worked the night shift, so he still might be in the overnight room. Yes, right away! Boss, bad news! Apparently the room's been empty all morning! Sounds like they've been looking to question Ashimiya too, but they couldn't find him anywhere. Oh. That all but confirms it. Just one more thing to check. Are there any photos of this Ashimiya? The old man seriously hated getting his picture taken. He'd always avoid it. Ario, call and search for Makoto Ashimiya. We can't let him get away. Yes, sir. I'll contact HQ right away.
My, I didn't expect this at all. Yeah, how could that old man have been some horrible criminal mastermind? I can't believe it.
So, fun fact, I mentioned finding it out the smart way by putting 2 and 2 together, but after that, I kind of confirmed it, because, I decided to do a stupid and send Mio and Yako back into the school to find something. Or rather, I sent Yako back in school to try and find Mio, and, the one-sided read cuts Mio and Yako up into little pieces. So, yeah. When this killer's saying he could wipe out the entire town in one night, that's not a joke. He probably could.
And a curse bear on top of that! To think it was so close to us this whole time? Ugh, gives me the chills.
A guy like that really shouldn't have been allowed to work at a high school. Let's hope it isn't already too late.
Oh! I think I may have shown Hashimiya my curse stone last night.
What? I don't like this one bit. Ijima did say he wasn't so specifically targeting curse bearers, but...
Glad nothing happened to you. Wait, but then... Could have been Old Man Hashimiya who attacked you in the hallway? I almost told him that you were still in the building, too!
Except I did. It doesn't end well.
You did? Yikes, good thing I didn't say anything.
Might have gotten very lucky there, kid.
This is too much. I hope they find him soon. Come on, long arm of the law. Help us! To put a stop to the Feast of Shadows, it would help if I knew more about the curses of these 7 mysteries that first came about.
In that case, you're probably best off talking to the crabby researcher guy.
You mean Mr. Araishi? I would very much like to talk to him.
Ah, right. He's a teacher here too, isn't he? You would know him already. He might be more inclined to talk if it's one of his students doing the asking.
You know where he is?
I do. We tried to talk to him, but he refused to cooperate. You two should give it a try. He's at his usual cafe working on his papers.
The cafe. Oh, Kurokikyo Cafe in Kamizawa. Thanks, we'll head there now. School rules said we're not allowed to go to cafes, though.
Don't worry about it. I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Oh, that's all it takes.
There must be a mastermind behind everything. Someone who orchestrated this all for a reason. I want to find out why.
Mayu Chozawa. I'll let you know as soon as we manage to contact her.
Okay, I'd be willing to give Hitomi's contact information to her. Oh right, one more thing Hitomi told me about Mr. Yoshimi. That told me that Mr. Yoshimi gave her instructions in the event that something happened to him. Told her to give the talisman to Mr. Nakagoshi from the police headquarters.
What?
So it was a Nakagoshi case? Why would Yoshimi tell her that? Did you check on that?
I will. I don't know if they'll pick up when I call.
See with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau.
Well, yes, Nakagoshi's the chief. He's almost never in, so I don't really know about the guy. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he exists, or if he's just a figurehead. I've never spoken to him myself. All Paranormal Affairs cases are referred to as the Nakagoshi cases.
Jeez, what's up with that?
Huh, so he's like a face, but it could be anybody.
The amulet Hitomi was looking for may be the missing puzzle to the mystery. What was the thing you mentioned about Michio earlier? Something about a grudge? Did you know anything about her? What's your relation? I'm her friend. I was actually planning to resurrect her at first.
Ah, I see. We gained quite a lot of information from you two. It's only fair that we share as well. Tell her, Ario.
Alright. Keep in mind this is just a theory, though.
A game theory! Sorry.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot throughout this game. Alright.
After re-examining the crime scene, Yoshimi concluded that Michio's death wasn't a suicide, but a vehicular collision. Wait, what? An accident? Being hit by a speeding truck or a van would have resulted in similar injuries. The investigation was ordered by Yoshimi, so it seems he had his doubts about it being a suicide. What, a van? Speeding? Yako, what's wrong? Are you okay? Wait. Oh my god, was she there? A van. There's a young man in the driver's seat. In the passenger seat, a woman? Yes? Wait, was I? Are you back now? How do you feel? You're covered in sweat. I really think either she was possessed or she was there. Yeah, I'm okay, I think. Sorry, I went a little crazy there. No problem, as long as you're okay. It's quite a surprise, though. Yoshimi talked to you about Michio, didn't he? Well, he didn't give me any specifics, if you're wondering about that. So I don't know what was truly on Michio's mind, either. Right. Do you have any idea why Jonoichi was so scared of Michio? Well, about that, I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but... I see. Well, I half expected it was something like that. Thank you for telling me. He was doing very gross things. We'll leave it at that. Sorry, it's hard to explain. I wonder what he got his hands on to be able to blackmail her like that. Michio, what happened? Still investigating the area. Jonoichi was almost definitely killed by a curse, but I wonder about the exact cause of death. If the curse's origin and the cause of death are connected, it could give us another lead. Hang on, am I missing something? What's all that rope about? It indicates where Jonoichi's body was found. They've moved his body, but this way they still have an idea of how it was found. Yikes, that's a little gross. You can even see how his arms and legs are all... Ugh. Cool it, Ario, you're scaring her. This kind of stuff is a little much for a kid. Hey, I'm pretty sure she only asked because she was staring at it so intently. Alright, that's enough. Mio, what do you think? I knew it the second I looked at the scene. You're right. Traces of a curse still linger here. I figured as much. Does that mean Jonoichi was killed by one of the curses of the 7 mysteries? Yes, a strong curse like that always leaves behind a trace. Wow, Mio, you're so calm. Are you used to this kind of thing? I wouldn't say I'm used to it. It just comes with experience, I guess. No, I've heard some stories about you. Didn't you investigate a gruesome scene where someone had been killed by a paranormal attack without even breaking a sweat? Stop, Mr. Susumi. She's gonna get the wrong idea. Well, that's amazing! Mio, you're a professional! You think? Totally! You're cool even in the face of death! That's awesome! When you put it like that, I'm not sure how awesome it is. Hey boss, Forensics is calling. I'll go see what they have to say. Sure, thanks. Boss, they found this on the ground a short distance away from the scene. What is that? A ribbon? Yeah, the kind you use to tie up your hair. What? I've seen that ribbon before. You have? Go on then. That's the ribbon that Michio always used to wear. What? Does that mean Michio was here? Are you sure? Definitely. I've seen the same one at home. We bought them together. That used to be hers. Then did she come back to life somehow? But how? If I was Michio and I came back to life, where would I go? That's the question. She
She got her revenge on Jinochi, but she may have more revenge to dish out.
Is there anyone else she'd have a grudge against?
Well, what about the guy that killed her in the collision?
If she really did come back to life, then it's terribly sad that she's spending her new chance at life like this. Being obsessed with revenge is such a tragic way to live.
I think Yako has more to say.
I'm afraid that's all we can tell you.
Don't worry, you were a big help. Thank you. We should start a search for Nejima and Mayu Chozawa.
Might be worth it to check out Michio's house as well, just in case.
The school is our base of operations. If anything happens, go to one of the officers around here.
Got it. Thank you, and good luck. We'll go talk to Mr. Raishi about a way to lift this curse.
All right, boss. Let's get going whenever you're ready.
Yeah, now the stories are connected. Let's see.